Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. Earlier this week in one of my videos, I was showing off some of the new pickups that I got. It was mostly Surging Sparks, but at the end of it, I had mentioned that I actually did get a Worlds deck. Well, if you watched that video, then you probably would have guessed that that deck is going to be featured on today's video, which is the the deck that I purchased, which is a 2013 Worlds deck, and it was played by, I believe it was Ian Whiton in the senior division. He didn't get first. He didn't get second, but he actually got, I think it was top four, third or fourth. And, the reason why they printed off that deck was because, the reason that I would think would be that, basically, all the other decks that, that could have gotten printed, right, were already being printed, as they were used to do well in multiple age divisions. So like stuff like Darkrai and TDK, Thunderous, Deoxys, and Kyurem, right? Those types of variations, right? And I believe it was the Rayquaza and Eels deck. I think that one also won, right, as well. But this one here is one of the ones that is probably the least popular one of all of them, but I wanted to get an extra deck here. It was for a good deal, and the deck that I'm talking about is the Gothitelle deck. This is American Gothic, which is basically Gothitelle Accelgor, and this has been a pretty popular deck, even back in 2012. This deck was being played, right, as this is the Dark Explorers card, and then this here was, I believe, an Emerging Powers card from Black and White. And the basic strategy of the deck is to use Accelgor's deck and cover 50-50 damage, right? Use a Double Colorless energy to power it up, and to switch back into Gothitelle, and prevent your opponent from using item cards according to its ability, right? So no Pokemon Catcher, no things like Level Ball, no Ultra Ball, no Ace Specs, right? That's a big one, right? You basically only have your supporters, and basically your Pokemon to do stuff, right? Stadiums as well. You can get stadiums, use your stadium abilities and all that, but just no item cards to be played. And back then, tools were considered items as well, so no tools. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. We have we got 3 Gothitelle, 1 Gothorita, and then 4 Gothita. This is the core of the deck. And then we got 2 Accelgor, and then 3 Shelmets, right? This is basically the core of the deck, right? This is what makes the deck. Everything else is just text, right? So let's kind of sort this better. There we go. Just like this. Okay, so the Gothita obviously evolves into, eventually into Gothitelle, right? It's pretty good. Its first attack, Hypnotic Gaze, makes your your opponent's active asleep, which is good. And then Double Slap, not too bad. 2 energy for a possible of 40 damage. Pardon me. 60 HP, 1 retreat, no resistance, weakness to psychic. Obviously, as back then, having that dark weakness is kind of. Some Pokemon had it, and some didn't. Gothitelle just made it weak to psychic. Gothorita there, 80 HP, 1 retreats, no resistance, weakness to psychic again. Its attack there, first attack, deleting glaze, flip coin of heads, discard an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so not too bad. And then that super Psybolt attack for psychic, 2 colorless for 50. You know, that's a usual attack on a stage 1, right? Like, you know, I think base set Kadabra has an attack like that, right? So, it's an attack that's been used on a lot of stage 1 psychic Pokemon over the years. And then Gothitelle there, right? It's, like I said, it's mainly there for its ability, but, you know, it's got 130 HP, so not too bad. 2 retreats, so, yeah, it's not terrible, right? You do play a lot of, you know, switch outs. You know, and obviously you play double colorless energy, so you can just attach that in retreats. No resistance and weakness to psychic. And then, yeah, its ability there. You can't even read what it does right now, or like the name of it. It's like magic. I still can't even see with glasses here. But anyway, it says, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand. So that's really, really good. You basically just want to lock your opponent out of the game, right? If you can end them to 1, and then a Accelgor, right? And then just keep locking them, right? And, you know, especially if you can prevent getting that KO. And then Mad Kinesis there, you don't really use this, but, you know, 3 colors, 30 damage plus 20 more damage for each psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. So it's, you know, if you have that 3 psychic for the attack cost, it's going to hit 3 for 90 damage. So it's not terrible, but, you know, there's a lot of better things out there than that. The Shelmet, right? So 60 HP. Retreat cost is 3. Just wow. That's like, honestly, it's absolutely terrible. I'm surprised it's got 3, right? I'm actually playing a heavy ball in here. Might not even be that bad of an idea, you know, just to get that extra search, right? No resistance, weakness to fire, right? Makes sense. It's a grass type. Two attack costs there, 2 grass, body slam 20, flip point effect is paralyzed, you know, easy. Accelgor, 90 HP, free retreat, so that's an upgrade. Because just basically how fast it is. No resistance, weakness to fire, again, grass. Hammer in there, grass for 20, and then deck and cover 2 colors. The defending Pokemon is now paralyzed and poisoned. Shuffle this Pokemon and all cards attached to it into your deck, right? So basically, you know, you're just able to lock them, right? One of the big problems with this, I guess, combo here is, you know, the damage is Keldeo, right? Keldeo EX, which basically, you know, with that rush in ability, you're able to switch it in, right? So that's basically ultimate counter to this card, right? And then if you can follow that up when we bring that Gothitelle active, if you're able to KO that Gothitelle one, then they just basically lost 2 Pokemon on their board, which makes it really hard for them to do anything, right? They're just going to have to reset up a bunch of stuff. So that's how you beat it. Okay, and that is the core. So now we're going to get into the text. Right, the texts are pretty cool. We got a Dusknoir with obviously Duskull. We've got a Musharna with a Munna. We've got 2 Mew EX, and then a Keldeo EX, you know, like we mentioned earlier. Right, so the Duskull and the Munna, obviously, basically, they're just to evolve, right? You don't really do anything with them. Yeah, they're basically average. You know, although Munna's hypnosis there, you know, like, Gothita's, you know, attack their hypnotic gaze, you know, could be a nice stall tactic. Dusknoir, right, is basically As often as you like during your turn, you may move one damage hunter from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another. So it's really nice at cherry picking damage. And that's a tactic you don't really worry about. Musharna there though, once during your turn, before you attack, you may, I believe it's look, well, it's kind of hard to see. Look at the top two cards of your deck, choose one of them, put it into your hands, and put the other card on top of your deck, right? So basically, it's like it's basically a better version of flower selecting, depending on if you look at it as like not putting a card into the lost zone versus taking advantage of that lost zone mechanic, right? If you play standard right now, so not too bad. It helps you dig through your deck, right, and get you that extra card. Mew EX, right? Once again, um, you don't play any psychic energy in here, right? But it is there for that versatile ability, which allows basically to use the attacks of all Pokemon at play. Pretty cool. And then the Keldeo EX here, right? Keldeo EX was a Russian ability. Makes it a nice pivot. If your opponent, paralyzes you, puts you to um, sleep, right? Stuff like that. And then it's an attack there. Not too bad. You can use it because you do play colorless energy, right? You play that DCE. It's a secret sword is 50 damage plus 20 more for each water, so you can just do straight like 2 DCE and just hit for 50 or 800 for weakness if it's weak to water, right? And that is it for the Pokemon in the deck. So not too shabby. Alright. It's mostly a psychic type Pokemon. The only the Accelgor and the Shelmet, and then obviously the Keldeo, the non-psychic Pokemon. So basically one of the most powerful types in the video game for a long time is psychic. Alright, so trainers, supporters, and stadium supporters first. We got Professor Juniper. For these, discard your hand, draw 7, right? It's our professor's research back then. For Skyla, right? So this is, a card that, was in standard up until I think it was last this year's rotation, pardon me. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hands. So that's pretty good. Actually, it helps get you out of, situations where you might be locked down. Right? Great at grabbing that ace spec, which we'll get into in a little bit. 3N, right? So once again, both players shuffle their hand into their deck, and then you draw cards equal to how many prizes you have, right? So another really good card, right? I love this card. It's super popular, and I'm basically always on the hunt for this card because of how good it is. And it's used in multiple formats, basically 2012 to I think 2018. Might be 2017. 2012 to 2017. So super popular. 2 Colress. So Colress, right? Shuffle your hands into your deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon both yours and your opponent's. So this here is an absolutely loaded card, right? If both benches are full, right? And I can't really imagine, why they wouldn't be, right? As having a big bench and that this format is actually really good. And it's not uncommon to to draw 9 or 10 cards, right? With this card alone, right? But I think you'll average maybe like 7 or 8 usually, which is really good. Stadiums to go with this. Tropical Beach. Yes, I was so stoked when these came in with this deck, right? I actually wanted a few more. I think that puts my collection to 5, right? Um, Basically, it's, a better Jubilife Village, which is in our format right now. Once during your turn before you attack, attack, that player may draw cards until he or she has 7 in their hand, and then your turn ends. So, really good card. And then lastly, our ace spec, which is computer search, and I was pretty stoked to have this as well. That adds a whole lot of value there. Discard 2, search for any card in your deck, and once again, it's an item, right? So, that's where that Gothitelle is really good against, Dexys, in this format, right? Just because that item lock. That's it for the supporters, right? And stadiums. Regular trainer cards. We got, we got stage 2s in the deck, and Dusknoir and Gothitelle, so we play 4 rare candy. That makes sense there. How we retreat is Floatstone, right? We play 3, gives it free retreats, right? Great on Keldeo there for that Russian, right? 3 Pokemon catcher, so back then, this card, you didn't have to flip a coin. It was basically boss's orders right now as an item, so really good nowadays. You gotta flip a coin. Another 3 of here, triple Ultra Ball, right? I believe Dark Explorers is the first time this card was printed, right? And it's basically been in standard ever since. So, love this card. Discard 2, search for a Pokemon. 2 Level Ball, search for a Pokemon with 90 hit points or less, right? So, basically Gothorita and below. And then the Accelgor line, you're able to use this. 2 Pokemon Communication, right? So this is basically Pokemon Trader from base set. Another really good card here. It allows you to switch Pokemon. Singles, Super Rod, right? Super Rod is Super Rod, right? Which is in our format right now. Tool Scrapper, discard up to 2 Pokemon tool cards, so this is great at getting rid of Floatstones. Town Map, right, reveals your prizes, so you're able to make the best decision on what to pick. And then lastly, our energy cards, right, I'm going to just throw them here too, but there's only 4, and that is 4 Double Colorless energy. Right, and yeah, that's basically it. So, built for basically maximum consistency, lots of search here, right? The 4 rare candy, you want to get that turn 2 Gothitelle with that Accelgor obviously attacking. So, yeah, there you go. Pretty stoked to have this in my 2013 collection, and yeah, another deck. So another deck down. Do probably one more for this format, and definitely be a video on that one. So, but yeah, there you go, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and once again, see you in the next one.